great to see you in this show, but I got to ask you, okay, seriously, is your life a dream come true? Here you are, a hockey player, and you get to act playing hockey. I mean, seriously, does it get any better than that?
Yeah, I submit that it does not. No, this is a pretty awesome, it's a pretty wild trip that I found myself on here, and I'm very, very aware of how fortunate I am. It's a cool job. Very cool.
Yeah, you got a pretty cool job for sure. I mean, we love watching you on Letterkenny, and this also is so much fun. It's great family fare, which is Letterkenny isn't so much, so this is good for families. But I want to ask you too, because when you took on this role, I love the fact that your dad, of course, is an NHL coach. You grew up with your brothers as hockey players. I wanted to know how much coaching your dad gave you to prepare you for this role.
Yeah, it's funny. I think Coach T has a little bit more room for comedic beats than my dad probably has behind the bench. I think he's a little more focused on different elements of the game than I think maybe I was when I was playing Coach T. Trying to find those moments where the audience can poke fun at Coach T. And I really love playing bad guys for that reason, especially comedic bad guys, because I think you have to be aware of how insane a lot of these guys are. Like with Coach T, for instance, he believes he's going to the NHL, and his
Right.
vehicle is through these 12-year-old hockey players. And I think I've played for guys like that. Like I played in academy teams, and I've been around coaches who might not have been the top level players when they were players, but now through coaching, that's their in to the big leagues. So that's something that my dad didn't have. He did play in the NHL, then he transitioned into a coach. So having that sort of false bravado was a really fun thing to find with Coach T. And yeah, a little bit of inspiration from Jimmy in a couple instances, some
I'm
behind the field
sure.
speakouts. But other than that, it was pretty organic.
Yeah, and what was it like for you? I mean, I'm sure when you were younger, you watched the movies or some, one or two of them or whatever. But what was it like for you to be on set and work with Emilio Estevez?
Well, yeah, I mean, to the original comment there, I actually burned out the second VHS with my brothers. So we watched one, two, and three on repeat. I can recite a bunch of the lines. So to
I
say
don't
we were
doubt
ready
it.
as a family is an understatement.
Yeah.
And then, on top of that, to meet Emilio and to work with him and to have the chance to speak with him, not just about Mighty Ducks, but the other projects that he had done, it was such an incredible experience and such a fantastic person and incredible performer. Like the very first day I was on set, he was there, and he came up and introduced himself, and it's an incredibly welcoming, warm person, and to sort of have that anchor from the original throughout the series. I mean, Coach Bombay he's in all 10 episodes. Like he's a huge part of the new series. So that for me was really reassuring, because I think I fall into the same category of fans who are like, I hope this Mighty Ducks, the Game Changers, does the first three movies justice. And I think having Bombay involved and having Steve Brill being the creator and heavily involved, it's very much in line with. I mean, it's the same story. It's just a linear progression. It's in the future from that same universe.
Right.
So I think
Right.
fans are stoked.
It's so cool. Yeah, I love it. What I've seen so far, it's so much fun to watch it. I have to ask you, Dylan, as we said earlier, you kind of fell into this acting thing. And, Letterkenny is not only obviously so huge here in Canada, but it's become a pretty much cultural phenomenon over in North America when it hit Hulu. Did you ever suspect, when you took that on, you didn't really think it was going to become anything, and look what it became. I mean, that's pretty unbelievable.
The biggest surprise for me was when we went from the YouTube to the 6 episode series order with Crave. But once that first season came out, because I lived in the States about half my life, so I knew that those little towns existed in the States just as much as they did in Canada. So I had this sneaking suspicion that once Americans could get it, they would like it. But for me, the biggest, like, oh my gosh, this is wild, was when it went from just a group of friends making YouTube videos to, okay, now this is on TV. And I was one of the couple cast members that were like, I think the States are gonna get it. I think they're gonna like it. So I'm glad my prediction was right, because it's pretty cool to see how much love Letterkenny gets.
I can't even imagine the attention you must get when you're, well, when, pre-pandemic, even when you were walking on the streets.
Yeah, a lot of Wheel Snipe Sally shouted out from moving cars.
I love it. Well, you're going to get a lot of attention from Mighty Ducks too, my friend. I'm sure it's so much fun to see you in this, and keep up the great work. And thank you so much for your time today. It's been a pleasure to talk to you.
Bonnie, thank you so much. I really enjoyed it myself.